Hello, my name is Tara Springett. I'm a Buddhist therapist and teacher, and today I want to talk to you about my new book. It's called Higher Consciousness Healing. Discover the personal healing symbols to solve all your problems. This book was previously published as The 5 Minute Miracle, so some of you might have already read the book. But I have now been able to republish the book, and I want to reintroduce it for you today. So, higher consciousness healing. I've worked with this method for over 20 years with tens of thousands of people. I mean, in part, these were people who read the book and wrote to me about it, about the results. And then I've had thousands and thousands of clients also in the meantime. And this method I have invented, or some people say I have channeled it. In any case, it came to me while I was meditating. I thought I had read it in a book, and I tried to find it in my bookshelf and could not find the book in which I thought I had read it. So I came to understand that actually this is something that just popped up in my mind, and I used it for my own problems. I had great results. And then I introduced it to my friends and family. My husband, of course, he had to do it immediately. And at the time, he had a lot of tiredness. He got rid of it, and people used it. Friends of mine who had strong pain got rid of the pain, depression, anxiety, and then slowly, bit by bit, I also introduced this method to my clients, and I had absolutely fantastic results with that. And so that's why I have written this book, so that more people can benefit from this self-help method. It's a really simple self-help method that you can just learn from reading this book. And also many children have used this method. It's really, really simple. You don't need to be able to visualize. Some people always worry that they can't do anything to do with visualization. Anything to do in this method where I might say visualize this or that, you need to do it on a very basic level, just like you would have done it in kindergarten when you played with other children. You can know what we're talking about or perceive it or sense it. You never need to see clear inner mental images. That's not never necessary in this method. So the core of this practice is to make contact with your higher consciousness. And the higher consciousness, the way we define it in this method, is the source of deepest love and wisdom in the universe. And everybody is free to define the source the way they like. Some people call it God, some like to call it Buddha, Divine Mother, the source, the universe. It doesn't really matter. And even people who are not spiritually or religiously inclined, they can just simply call it the part of the mind that is wiser and more loving and happier than they feel at the moment when they're struggling with their problems. And so what we do in this method, that we ask our higher consciousness to give us a symbol or to show us a symbol that will help us to overcome this problem. And these symbols are shown to us in the form of beautiful flowers, for example, gemstones, geometrical figures, stuff like that. And all these symbols have beautiful colors. And then we imagine or visualize or perceive or sense this symbol in our physical body, and imagine that it radiates its beautiful color out into our body and into our mind, radiating out light and love and comfort and courage. And people find that immensely healing. It helps us powerfully to take our mind off the problem that we are struggling with at the moment, and instead putting our mind on an image that really gives us a sense of comfort, of help, of inspiration. And we can do this over and over and over again. And then we also have other aspects of the work, is that we imagine ourselves in a big protective bubble, and that I show a step-by-step guidance how we can tune into the love of our higher consciousness for ourselves and learn to love ourselves like as if we are our own best friends. So this is all these things are basically come from Tibetan Buddhism. I'm a Tibetan Buddhist teacher. This is where I have the ingredients from. But I've just, you could say, I'll repackage the whole thing and make it available for anybody really who has a problem. Nobody has to become a Buddhist to use this method. And so then we are sitting there in our protective bubble with our higher consciousness in our heart, and loving ourselves. And for most people, this is already 50% better. And then there's a selection of problems that I will shortly, quickly describe that can be used very well with higher consciousness healing. First of all is anxiety. So this is very easy to resolve. And I've had numerous clients who had years of high anxiety who got rid of this anxiety within weeks, sometimes 1 or 2 months. It is really something where you learn to control your emotional body or your energy body, and you tune in to the area of your body where you feel the sense of anxiety. You learn to kind of open, relax, and release that part of yourself. Use a certain breathing technique at the same time that slows everything completely down, and the anxiety will dissolve in front of your eyes within 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Everybody's anxiety goes right down. Maybe not completely to zero in the first attempt, but with a little bit of practice, the anxiety will disappear and will stay away for good. Because this is something one can learn, one can train, one can basically do. And another negative emotion that we can work with is depression. Basically, when we are sad, our energy goes down, we hang our head, we feel down. We need to learn to reverse that energy flow, bring it up, bring it out, and replace it with joy. Now, that sounds so simple, and people say to me, come on, Tara, you have never worked with clinically depressed people. You know that this wouldn't work. Not true. I've worked with numerous severely depressed people, and it always works. The biggest hindrance in all of this is that people have this reaction that they say, this sounds too good to be true. This can't be so easy. I've done 5 years of psychotherapy and it hasn't helped. And you say with this little exercise, I can do this very, very quickly. The answer is yes. And if you want to experience the benefit of this method, you can just try it out and see how it works. And when I work with my clients, it works pretty much in 100% of all um, um, cases, unless the person says, I don't want to work with that. Well, they can't help in that case. Another emotion that can also be very well used with this method is anger and resentment. We find that a lot in people who have had traumas or have been abused by others or mistreated, and they carry often a load of deep-seated resentment with them. And then some psychotherapy says, or spiritual paths, they say, just simply forgive. I don't find that is quite so easy. I think it is important that the negative thing that's been done to us has to be acknowledged. It is important that we have the permission to say it. So that's part of the method, to be allowed to voice what was wrong, what the other person has done wrong. And then in the next step to say, I will let go of my anger, my resentment, um, after we have said what was wrong. And then when we let go our anger, it is not because we say it's all forgotten and forgiven and let's forget about it now. No, it is more like that you let go of the anger for yourself, for your own good, because carrying so much anger is bad for your own health. It doesn't feel good. It also makes you depressed, and that's the only reason. And there is a step-by-step process in which you can let go of this anger and then also go into your body mind again, look where there is residual anger, work by releasing, relaxing that step by step, and it can be done as well. And we can work also very well with relationship by imagining other people in their bubbles as well, imagining them to be filled up with light, uh, imagining that these people see themselves as they really are. And I have found in my work with tens of thousands of people that people will get a genuine resolution to the traumatic effects of any abuse. And I've worked with the people who had the most horrendous abuse, and they found peace, that got free from that, and they moved on, and they could suddenly start beautiful relationships or other things in their life manifested that they've always wished for, because they were able to let go of the traumatic consequences of what was happening to them. So this is just a short selection of problems that can be resolved with this method. There's also lots of other things you can use that with, even tiny little problems like a little bit of tiredness or frustration in the day, or feeling sick in the car, or little stuff can be resolved with this. There's also a chapter about how to combine this method with manifesting your dreams, using the law of attraction, how that works together, making decisions by using a life path, seeing yourself on the life path, wondering or asking, what would I be doing on this life path if I did option A, B, and C? And in that way, use the intuitive part of your brain to come to a conclusion. That is also very helpful. People have used that to great effect. And there's all sorts of other little nifty tricks in here, chakra work, and it can also be used for tiredness and pain in the body, and so forth. So it's not a very thick book. It's, as I said to you, it's a simple method with wonderful applications. I've got the blessing of my Buddhist teacher, Gajan Rinpoche, to write this book and to use it, and he's given me his full blessing for that, for which I'm very grateful. And I hope it will. I have inspired you to use this method as well, and that you will get a lot of benefit from it. If you like the method in the video, please give me a thumb up, leave a comment, and particularly if you had good results with the method also in the past, please let me know. And thank you for listening. Bye.